Novak, thanks for spending your birthday with us. And we would like to check how you're doing since Rome and how the preparation is going.
Yeah, thanks. Not kind of how I imagined my birthday to go, but nice to see you guys. It's been a lot of, lots of hours spent on the court and trying to, perfect the game and the body and enable myself physically and game-wise to be ready for a best of 5. So let's see. I don't know whether that's going to be the case, for the entire tournament, however long that tournament will be for me. But, Grand Slams have been, I've said this many times, always the priority list, particularly last couple of years. So I always try to aim to be at the peak of my own abilities to perform well in Grand Slams. So can't wait to get out on court and start competing.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Just your view on the 15-minute protest. What's your opinion on it? Are you partaking in it? And are we on the clock as we talk to you now?
No, I'm not part of that. I cannot comment on something that I was not part of in terms of the I can answer that if you want. It's probably for my birthday someone's called. I haven't been part of that. I haven't been part of the process of the conversation or the planning or the decision making. So I can't comment on that, to be honest. But what I can do is reiterate my own position that I've said many times before, that as a player, which has been my primary role in this sport for so many years, I've always been on the player's side and trying to advocate for players' rights and better future for players, but not only top players, players across all rankings, across all fields, particularly the Tier 1 professional tennis. The players on both men's and women's side that are lower ranked, that are, often forgotten about. And, we tend to, when I say we, I mean including media and, all of the interest sides of the tennis world at the highest level talk about the prize money cuts and, how much are the top players earning or not earning, but we tend to forget how little is the number of people that live from this sport. So I will never stop mentioning that or talking about that, because it is the most important field of the tennis professional circuit, that foundational top Tier 1 level for the future of this sport. If we want to nurture the future, if we want to have the players thrive from this sport, not just survive, and if we want also to increase or improve the sport as a whole and increase the number of the kids who want to enroll themselves onto the journey of becoming a professional tennis player, then we have to discuss about, for me at least, the more important topic, which is how do we grow sport in a grassroots level. So, and for that, that's not only question of the players expressing their content or discontent. I think it's us as a whole, Grand Slams, governing bodies, the governing tours, everyone. We are very fragmented. It's already complex enough as a sport, how the structure is set and how we are regulated. So the further fragmentation is really hurting me personally. I really don't like to see that. But yeah, let's see and let's learn also from golf. I think golf is a good example of professional, individual, global sport that has been through and is still going through a very challenging times in terms of the governance and splitting tours and players and that are able to participate in only one tour if they go to another. We've seen what's happening. So let's learn from that. Let's try to be a bit more united and have a unifying voice into finding better, structure and better future for our sport, because now is the right time. Because that's the sentiment that I feel. It's just, it's not one or two things that are happening this tournament that the players are partaking in terms of media. It's just overall there's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of sentiment on what is happening in terms of the changes in sport, and I think it's something inevitable. So hopefully we're going to be able to do it with least turbulence possible.
Hi, Novak. Question about the preparation. Maybe the decision not to play Geneva. I know you rocked up in Australia, hadn't played. That was very rare for you. Made it to the second week without dropping a set. I mean, you know how to do this better than anyone. It's your 22nd appearance here in Paris. But can you take me through what it was like for you the last couple of weeks, why you made the decision, and how do you prepare yourself without very much match play for an event as big as this?
Well, to be honest, it was a higher force. I mean, I wanted to play more, but my body was not allowing me. I was going through rehabilitation process for my injury. So, after Indian Wells, it was, just not possible for me to compete for several months. And that's the reason why. And I really wanted to go to Rome to give it a shot and try and see how I feel. I mean, I was far from being ready to compete, but still I needed at least that one match just to have the score called by chair umpire and have experience of the nerves before I eventually come to Roland-Garros, which at that point I didn't know if I was going to be able to play or not. And thankfully the response of the body and the preparation has been positive in the last 10 days, so here I am, and we'll see what happens.
I appreciate your preparations haven't been ideal, Novak, but when you see that Carlos Alcaraz is missing from the draw, does that make you feel differently about your chances?
Well, he's a two-time defending champion of Roland-Garros, of course. That it's a big blow for the tournament not to have him. Whether that changes my approach to this tournament, I don't think it does significantly change, to be honest, because I've been through challenging times with my body in the last 6 to 8 months. So that was my primary focus or concern, if I may say. Not much really thinking about whether I have better chances or not with Carlos, because I feel like being here or not being here, because I feel like if I'm healthy and I'm able to maintain that level of freshness throughout the tournament, it obviously will not be the same at the beginning like it is in the towards the end of the tournament. But if I'm able to somehow maintain that level of freshness and in progress, and then I feel like I have always a very good chance, and I've proven that in Australia this year, where I was, close to win another slam. So, I always have that belief in me when I'm on the court.
Yannick, over here. Yannick just matched you with his Golden Masters. He's also on quite a streak. You've had obviously some great streaks. Can you just explain the mindset when you've won that many matches in a row? Does the pressure build match after match, or is it more the confidence building?
Well, I want to congratulate him again. I mean, I've done that on social media, but again, I mean, it's an incredible feat for him and his team. We've talked a lot about how impressive he is on all surfaces, and people may be questioning because of his game style whether the clay would be as dominant as hardcourt, for example. But he has proven that that's also the case, which is really amazing. And yeah, I mean, being one of the two guys that have managed in the history to be the only ones to win the Golden Masters, I know how challenging that is and how difficult it is. So, you know, I really congratulate him for that, because it's quite an achievement. And he's really young. You know, he still has a lot of time ahead of him. I think he's going for his Golden Slam as well here, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So, yeah, he's in maybe the form of his life, and you know, without Carlos being here, also increases his chances even more of claiming more Grand Slam titles. And so, we're all here to try to win against him and, you know, prevent him from taking more titles. And we have witnessed yesterday night on the court that he has lost only for the third time this year against you know, Monfils and Svitolina in the exhibition. I told him that on the court, that if he doesn't step up, that he's going to lose against Gael. No, but jokes aside, I also want to mention. Sorry, I have to drink a little bit of water. I just want to say a few words about Gael as well. That has been a friend and rival and someone I really admired and grew up with since the age of 13, 14. It was a wonderful evening, incredible atmosphere, and he deserved every bit of that celebration of his career that we experienced last night. So he was insisting on us playing that game. That was the first time I ever played that game. And it was fun. It was really fun for all of us to be there for him. He deserved it. So just a little message for Gael, because he truly deserves that, not only as a tennis player, but as a human being and somebody that has, you know, touched so many people's hearts, has respect from, I think, everyone in men's and women's locker room, of, you know, across all the generations he has competed with. I mean, I don't know anyone that really doesn't like Gael. So one of my favorite players to watch, incredible athleticism. Just I'm looking forward seeing him perform in his last Roland-Garros here.
This was sort of a game-style question, Novak. It seems like from the outside you've played with a lot of aggression the last few years, and I just wondered how conscious a decision that was, whether that's just a kind of natural thing that developed. Yeah, just kind of how that came about.
Well, I think it is natural and logical and rational. I think. I mean, to be stepping into the court more and trying to take the ball early, take my chances. I mean, I'm not getting any younger, that's for sure. So, you know, the body is obviously as well more challenging nowadays for me to handle in long matches. After long matches, particularly, you know, to recover quickly, it's not as fast of recovery as it used to be. So, I know that that's the kind of game plan and desirable tactics, particularly in the big matches. It's hard to always execute it. I mean, I have it in my mind. I know I'm not maybe a natural serve and volleyer and stuff, but I try to do that as well. It's just that I have such a confidence in my defense and always had throughout my life. And then sometimes that plays against me because I then need to run more than maybe I should and strain my body further. But yeah, I mean, it's something I've been working on as well, you know, short balls, trying to take early and put pressure on the opponent, and it helps when it's working.
How hard is it to play that way?
Well, I want to believe that for most of my career, and actually this is the way I've been brought up and taught tennis early in my childhood, is to be close to the line and try to take the ball on the rise. I haven't played like that maybe throughout the entirety of my career, but I've always tried to be the one that dictates the point, you know. Of course, it was hard to do that against all the players, but against most of them, I try to do that. So I like to believe that was the case, and that's how I feel. So it wasn't really hard for me to make that extra adjustment in terms of being more aggressive on the court.